Director of Ceremonies, Honorable Kalesh Letvine, Minister of Finance of Namibia, Your Excellency, President Jacob Zuma, President of the Republic of South Africa, and Chairperson of SACU, and Madam Zuma, Your Excellency, Lieutenant General Seretse Khama Ian Khama, President of the Republic of Botswana, Your Excellency, Dr. Hage Geingob, President of the Republic of Namibia, Right Honorable Barnabas Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Swaziland, and Madam Dlamini, Honorable Matejwao Metsieng, Deputy Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Lesotho, Your Excellency, President Hifikepunye Pohamba, former President of the Republic of Namibia, the Right Honorable Saraku Wangelwa Amadila, Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Peter Kachavivi, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Aser Kapere, Chairman of the National Council, His Lordship, Mr. Peter Shivute, Chief Justice, Honorable Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Tlantla Nene, Minister of Finance of South Africa and the Chairperson of SACU Council of Ministers, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Members of Parliament here present, Honorable Laura McLeod Kachira, Governor of the Commerce Region, Your Excellencies, Member of the Diplomatic Corps, representatives of regional organizations, officials of the SACU Secretariat, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Dumelang, Mwararapo, Mwapenduka, Morokeni, Sanibonani, Sanibona, Molweni. I trust I have covered most of the language that are spoken in this room this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I am greatly honored to address this August gathering on the occasion of the inauguration of the SACU headquarters. On behalf of the SACU Secretariat and on my own behalf, it is my privilege to welcome you all to this historic occasion. Thank you for honoring our invitations to witness this momentous ceremony. I would like to extend a special welcome to the SACU heads of state and government to the SACU headquarters. On behalf of the Secretariat, we express our deepest gratitude to their excellencies for finding the time in their busy schedule to come to Windhoek to inaugurate the SACU headquarters, which is your very own building. This will certainly be an event which will forever be etched in SACU's annals and legacies. In the same vein, let me also welcome the SACU Council of Ministers, members of the SACU Commission and Finance and Audit Committee, and further thank them for their leadership and the oversight provided to the Secretariat during the construction of this building. Looking at the entire facility, which you will have an opportunity to tour later, we can all be proud of the outcome of our efforts. At the Secretariat, and indeed the whole of SACU, we are truly proud to contribute such a modern structure to the landscape and architecture of the city of Windhoek. Your Excellencies, it will be remiss of me not to acknowledge the tremendous support that the Secretariat has received from the government and people of Namibia since its establishment in 2004. The government of Namibia has generously supported SACU in various ways to facilitate its operations in Namibia. More critically, we thank the government of Namibia for making available the land where our headquarters is standing, as well as the support in organizing this event today. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the construction of this building commenced in September 2012 and was completed in April 2014. which was within the agreed time frame, as well as the approved budget. To that end, I wish to recognize the people, some of whom are with us here today, who worked tirelessly to plan, coordinate, and build this landmark in the heart of the city of Windhoek. The immense and invaluable contribution made by all those who were involved in ensuring that the headquarters became a reality are highly appreciated. Let me therefore also acknowledge the architects, Barnard and Mutua, who were responsible for the design of this impressive building, and congratulate them for the job well done. In the same vein, I would like to extend our appreciation to the contractors, engineers, quantity surveyors, and indeed all the other professional teams who were involved in this project. I further wish to acknowledge the dedication and hard work invested by the Secretariat staff in this project and their patience in ensuring that the project is successfully delivered. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, one can only concede that the Secretariat, given our skills and expertise, could not have monitored this project. Most of us are economists, statisticians, and therefore construction is not really our business. Without the critical and invaluable support of the task team, the SACU task team for the headquarters project, we couldn't have done that. And I would like to appreciate all their input and expert advice and applaud them for their guidance. As I only came to the tail of this project in April 2014, when I joined SACU, I can only extend my deep gratitude to my predecessor and the founding executive secretary of SACU, Ambassador Moremi, for steering the project to its conclusion. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, surely with these impressive facilities at the disposal of the Secretariat, it goes without saying that it has created an enabling environment necessary to execute our mandate. Let me assure you that the Secretariat staff stand ready to fulfill and implement the SACU Priority Work Program as approved by the Summit in order to realize the SACU vision of an economic community with equitable and sustainable development dedicated to the welfare of its people for a common future. It is acknowledged that full implementation of the SACU Agreement of 2002 requires great efforts by both member states and the Secretariat, and the need to put in place processes that will ensure that we attain our goals as an organization. I am mindful of the challenges towards the achievement of these goals. However, I strongly believe that these challenges are not insurmountable. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let me thank you for being here, especially to their Excellencies who have taken valuable time out of their tight schedule to grace us with their presence and to inaugurate this new home of the SACU Secretariat. Thank you for dedicating your time to participate in this event, and we look forward to your partnership and continued cooperation. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Ilago. Your Excellencies, when His Excellency President Hifikepunye Pohamba, together with you, presided over the groundbreaking ceremony, we had pitched a tent to host you. Now that we have a building, we again pitch a tent to host you. But it is not because we have no building. We have a building now. It is because so many of you wanted to join us in these celebrations. Your Excellencies, it is now my great pleasure to welcome His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, President of the Republic of Namibia, to welcome you to this inauguration. President Geingob.
Thank you, please. Director of Ceremonies, President Geingob Zuma, Chairman of SACU, President Seretse Ian Kama, President of the Republic of Botswana, Prime Minister Barnabas Dlamini, the Kingdom of Swaziland, Deputy Prime Minister, Metsing of the Kingdom of Lesotho, Your Excellency, Comrade Hifikepunye Pohamba, President, Right Honorable Sarah Kuangola Amadila, Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia. I just said President. I didn't say President of Republic of Namibia. That's this one here. Honorable Peter Katsavivi, Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Aser Kapere, Chairperson of National Council, Your Lordship, Peter Shivute, Chief Justice, Honorable Ministers from Namibia and Member States, Minister Nene, the Chairman of SACU, Council of Ministers, Deputy Prime Minister, who is also Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, members of Diplomatic Corps, Ms. Paulina Elako, Executive Secretary of SACU. I nearly come out because I thought she welcomed all of us, but I was instructed by the chairman to come and welcome them, so that's why I'm doing that. Distinguished invited guests, local and regional media representatives, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government and the people of the Republic of Namibia, I warmly welcome you to Windhoek. Your presence here today is testimony to the importance we all attach to this union and its continued role in deepening economic integration amongst our 5 countries. SACU is the oldest customs union in the world and therefore serves as a building block for SADC and other regional economic bodies. I'm reminded of the words of Tate Nelson Mandela, who said, and I quote, "I dream of the realization of the unity of Africa, whereby its leaders combine their efforts to solve the problems of this continent." While ours is a union of only 5 countries, the aims and objectives of SACU encompasses the ideals referred to by Comrade Mandela. A worrying global development is the discrepancy in income distribution across and within nations. The rich are getting richer, while the poor remain in a vicious poverty trap. Therefore, prosperity must be shared and growth must be inclusive. Furthermore, let us be cognizant of the dangers of unequal economic development. What we want for our union and region are economies characterized by sustained and inclusive growth as well as stable political climates. The African Development Bank undertook a study on the prospects for the economic integration of Southern Africa. The study indicates that Africa must transform its weak production structures and fragmented markets by embracing economic integration with a renewed sense of purpose and direction. The ghastly alternative would be a subcontinent at risk of marginalization in its participation in the global economy. In this regard, we need to transform our region into a hive of economic opportunities, and in so doing, make economic participation more accessible and inclusive. Your Excellencies, under the SACU Agreement of 2002, the Council provides political and strategic guidance and is the highest decision-making authority on SACU matters. I'm happy that we have made progress in institutionalizing the summit of the SACU heads of state and government. It can thus be expected that the SACU summit will strengthen sub-regional stability and development and increase investor confidence in our sub-region. The extent of our political will and commitment to the economic integration process will determine the success of SACU. It is against this background that I call upon all our member states to work together to further deepen and strengthen work on the priority areas of focus of SACU, including a review of the revenue sharing model, intellectual property, industrial development, industrial policy, and strengthening the capacity of SACU Secretariat, amongst others. For these remarks, please allow me once again to welcome my brothers to the land of the brave for the inauguration of the SACU headquarters. Let us continue to work together as a family in this SACU house to build a strong and prosperous sub-region where nobody should feel left out. Let me conclude by quoting the SACU vision, which was adopted at the SACU Heads of State and Government meeting right here in Windhoek in 2010. And it reads, very short, and I quote, an economic community with equitable, sustainable development dedicated to the welfare of its people for a common future. Let us then work for common future. Let us work for the well-being of all our people. I therefore once more welcome you. I hope it is not too hot. You will enjoy your short stay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, President Geingob, for your statement. We are making good progress, and I have now the distinct pleasure and honor to invite His Excellency President Jacob Zuma, the President of the Republic of South Africa and the Chairperson of SACU, to give his statement. President Zuma.
Thank you. So I didn't realize you can't stand up for this young man. How? So I was not watching. Thank you, Director of the Program, Your Excellency, Dr. Geingob, President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency, Lieutenant General Seretse Khama Ian Khama, President of the Republic of Botswana, Your Excellency, Dr. Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Swaziland, Your Excellency, Mosematsing, Deputy Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Lesotho, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers, Executive Secretary of SACU, senior officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity first to express my personal gratitude to our host, President Geingob, his government, and the beautiful people of Namibia for the hospitality extended to us since our arrival. The hospitality afforded us, and indeed the wonderful welcoming remarks by President Geingob have suddenly reminded us that we are one people. We belong to the same region, and we share the same history and aspirations. Let me also hasten to extend our profound gratitude to the government and people of Namibia for generosity donating the land on which our SACU headquarters are built. Ladies and gentlemen, it was on the 22nd April 2010 that we marked a historic occasion of the celebration of the 100 years of SACU on this very site, under the leadership of the former President Buhamba, who is with us here today. Today, 5 years later, we meet again to mark yet another milestone, which is the conclusion of a project to build a SACU headquarters building. As we meet here today, we are fully conscious of the collective responsibility we bear towards Africa's founding fathers to promote continental and regional integration. I must add that the very decision by SACU member states to establish a headquarters, I think it speaks volumes with regard to our commitment to continue with SACU as an important instrument for us as neighbor countries. If we did not have that commitment, I don't think we would have thought of establishing a headquarters. So I'm very pleased that if there was any doubt anywhere that there is no commitment for the continuation of this wonderful organization, this very act deals with that doubt very clearly. Your Excellencies, the visionary words of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah are worth repeating when he said, and I quote, "Forces that unite us are intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart," unquote. These words are as important today as they were decades ago. We are pleased, therefore, to gather as regional leaders today to witness the official launch of the SACU headquarters building, which is a symbol of our collective effort to promote regional growth and development of the SACU region and its people, as well as a symbol of unity among SACU member states. This is, therefore, an important historic gathering. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we meet in a time of global turbulence framed by the uncertainty of a seemingly fragile world economic recovery and outlook. Effective regional integration is of particular importance and pertinence now, especially with uncertainty surrounding the global economy and stagnation still likely to continue in traditional markets such as Europe. Enormous opportunities for cross-border trade within Africa in food products, basic manufacturers, and services remain unexploited. The cross-border production networks that have been a silent feature of development in other regions, especially East Asia, have yet to be materialized in Africa. Hence, the renewed focus on sectoral cooperation through a value chain approach to industrial development. We need to utilize our resources to change the region's fortune away from an exporter of primary products and an importer of manufactured goods. Challenges in our own continent remind us of the immense burden of responsibility we carry as African leaders to bring about substantive improvements to the material well-being of our citizens. As such, we are compelled to create enabling environments for our economies to prosper and grow. Sustainable economic growth and development is essential if we are to support the creation of more sustainable livelihoods for our citizens and, in particular, our youth through the provision of decent jobs and employment. We therefore need to align developmental strategies and programs aimed at poverty alleviation, underdevelopment, food security, and the like across national, regional, and continental boundaries. There is no single country that can prosper on its own. Our destinies are intertwined. Our economies are inextricably linked, and our market is small by global standards. Global growth is expected to be the slowest since the Great Recession. This new world order is characterized by lower commodity prices, which are likely to stay low for the foreseeable future, and weakening of currencies resulting from slow growth in the economies of our major trading partners, particularly China. Ladies and gentlemen, developing economies such as ours face widening trade deficits resulting from low commodity prices and weak demand for imports has come to put pressure on our foreign exchange reserves and, consequently, on our fiscal and monetary policies. As SACU member states, we need each other more than ever before. We need to consider very seriously what we can do to avert these crises for the benefit of our people. It is my considered opinion that as we celebrate another achievement in SACU, we should spare a moment to reflect on all these urgent and pressing challenges. It cannot be business as usual. We need to develop practical work programs that address the challenges we collectively face to promote complementarities between our economies. To consider a funding mechanism that will ensure speedy and effective implementation of agreed programs. This requires that we take charge of our destiny due to limited resources and aid globally. Ladies and gentlemen, diversification is important. An economy and export basket concentrated in a few products could be very vulnerable and prone to destabilization. Sustainable and continued economic development becomes very unlikely, if not impossible, in such a destabilized economic environment. In addition, a strong and diversified manufacturing sector across the region will increase the impact of SACU as an integration tool for all of us. Competitive and diversified manufacturing will increase the trade potential among us. And I think, my colleagues, it is important to take into consideration that the changed world today needs us to think quicker so that we can take advantage of the developments that are taking place. If, for an example, we are talking about us coming up with projects that interlink the countries in a serious manner, we should know that time is going. We now have BRICS Bank that is going to be looking for projects. So we can't take too long to work on the projects that will indeed fulfill our dream that our SACU will become a powerful instrument of its members. Because we must be ready when the BRICS Bank is in full operation to present projects from SACU. It's absolutely critical. I want to underline this point because our ministers and officials should bear that in mind as we work. We don't have time on our side. We need to move faster. Ladies and gentlemen, as SACU heads of state and government, we have met several times, and on the 12th April 2013, we signed the amendments to the SACU Agreement of 2002, institutionalizing the SACU Summit. We have noted that the SACU Council of Ministers had streamlined the 5-point priority list to underpin the SACU work program on regional industrial development as an overarching objective of the SACU. The work program included 8 priority sectors with potential for cross-border collaboration. 1, textile, clothing, and apparel. 2, agro-processing. 3, mineral beneficiation and processing, including mining and quarrying. 4, leather and leather products. 5, automotive, including automotive components. 6, energy, including renewable, alternative energy. 7, arts and culture. And 8, support services, information and communication technology, ICT, financial skills development, infrastructure, transport and logistics, and engineering. I think these are powerful things that we have identified. What we need is a focused, clear, unpacking, crystallizing specifics of what we need to do to grow these. We must therefore act purposefully to strengthen and identify competitive advantages in value-added production and trade, including through the development of complementary cross-border value chains. Well-developed infrastructure, as well as the market size offered by the combined SACU member states' markets, are essential underpinnings for industrial development and are key to foster economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, SACU has a potential through collective effort to address the challenges facing the region. Our economies have resources that can be utilized to spur economic growth through the development of both our agriculture and manufacturing sector. We must redouble our efforts to build and rehabilitate the regional infrastructure that must underpin production and trade growth. We also agree that SACU continues to play an important role in the economies of its member states, and that it should be transformed into a vehicle for regional integration capable of promoting equitable development and the new SACU vision. Consequently, as leaders, we agreed on the need to take bold decisions requiring a collective commitment towards securing the long-term economic prosperity of our region to the benefit of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, as we inaugurate this eco-friendly and state-of-the-art building, we should move beyond strategies towards programs that meet our strategic objectives. Our people expect a lot from us. They expect us to create employment opportunities. They expect us to deliver social services. With our collective effort, we can deliver these, and we need to commit ourselves to doing exactly that. We are not to fail. We must succeed. I thank you, Director of the program.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, President Zuma, for your statement. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to announce some streamlining of the program. The next item on the program will be the vote of thanks. Thereafter, I will invite heads of state to tour the building and immediately go into their consultations. While heads of states are in the consultations, you invited guests may tour the building, and thereafter we are together for lunch again. I hope that is clear. Now I have the pleasure to request the Right Honourable Prime Minister Barnabas Dlamini, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Swaziland, to give us the vote of thanks. Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you so very much, Program Director. Your Excellency, Lieutenant General Seretse Khama, Ian Khama, President of the Republic of Botswana, Your Excellency Jacob Zuma, the President of the Republic of South Africa and Chair of the SACU Summit, Your Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, President of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Mutejwa Metsing, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Lesotho, Your Excellency, former President of Namibia, Your Excellency Hamba, Your Honor, the Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia, the Speaker of the National Assembly, and His Lordship, the Chief Justice, Honorable Ministers and members of the SACU Council, Your Excellency, the Executive Secretary of SACU, Honorable Members of Parliament, the Honorable Governor of the Commerce Region, Your Worship, the Mayor of the City of Windhoek, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellencies, representatives of the regional organizations, distinguished invited guests, officials of the SACU Secretariat, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellencies, on behalf of His Majesty King Mswati III and the Queen Mother of the Kingdom of Swaziland, let me start by conveying our deep appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob for welcoming the SACU heads of state and government together with their delegations to your beautiful capital, Windhoek. It is an honor for all participants to be present at this special occasion in the history of our SACU partnership. I thank all present for their attendance at this very special event of SACU. The continuing support and active collaboration that has been given towards the realization of SACU's objectives is greatly appreciated. We have all been together on this long journey from concept to completion in the project to construct the SACU headquarters. The outcome is a magnificent structure that is about to be inaugurated here in Namibia, the home of SACU, and a building that is the source of great pride to us all as we participate in today's ceremony. It is my privilege to be able to express our deep gratitude to the government and people of Namibia for donating the land for the project. Furthermore, the membership of SACU is immensely grateful to the government of Namibia for the support and facilitation work given during the execution of the construction project. From the presentations and viewing this iconic structure, it is clear that a project of such magnitude was no easy task. It was many hands that made light work, as the saying goes. In other words, that made the huge amount of work achievable. In that regard, let me therefore commend all officials, our officials, under the able leadership of the SACU Council of Ministers and the SACU Commission, who ensured that the project was delivered within the allocated budget and agreed timelines. To Madam Executive Secretary and her officials at the Secretariat, we give our congratulations for their dedication to ensuring successful completion of the project. Credit also must go to the members of the task team for the SACU headquarters project. This team was made up of representatives of the SACU member states, and we thank them for the professional and technical support given to the Secretariat during the project implementations. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me further extend our appreciation to the technical team that carried out the construction of the new building. Bernard Mutua, the architects, New Era Investment, the contractor, Henrik Hesselman, quantity surveyors, Burmester and partners, the engineers, Silen Binder, the consulting engineers, and Windhoek Consulting engineers, as well as all other professional teams involved in the construction of the building. We commend and thank you all for your work. Not only do we now have a truly impressive new headquarters, but it has been achieved on time and without any escalation costs. In these fiscal challenging times that our representative government face, that is music to the ears. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this historic event in the life of SACU, we can only encourage the Secretariat to treasure the building and ensure that maintenance is carried out in a manner commensurate with the high standards of construction. We hope further that the high quality and superb facilities of the building will prove to be an inspirational work environment, assisting the officials of the Secretariat and indeed all other stakeholders as they work to facilitate the achievement of SACU's objectives. In conclusion, Your Excellencies, may I express appreciation to Madam Executive Secretary and her staff, as well as all other officials, for the efforts made in preparing for this inauguration. Our sincere gratitude also goes to the government of Namibia, our hosts, for the usual warm Namibian welcome and hospitality extended to all of us. And thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Prime Minister, for the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are moving now to the...
Oh, that's the new SACU building in Namibia being opened by the President there, and of course a number of other African delegates. But right now, Kendall Makamate standing by with your sports news, and there's lots happening there, Kendall.
Absolutely, Elvis. Some brand new news as well, like the 5 candidates for FIFA President have been announced.
I'll leave it up to you.
Thank you very much.
Unveiling of the plaque and the following tour of the building. Equally, the Right Honourable Prime Minister Sarah Kugungelba Amadila and the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister of Namibia. The rest of us remain in the hall. Before we go to the unveiling of the plaque, I think we can end the formal part of the ceremony by rising for the anthems. We have then closed the part Thank you very much. Heads of State and the invited guests will now go to the plaque unveiling, the tour of the building, and they will directly from there go into the consultations. While heads of states are in consultations, other members are welcome to tour the building. Thank you very much.
Was unveiled by the heads of state and government of the Union, being His Majesty King Mswati III, King of the Kingdom of Swaziland, His Excellency Lieutenant General Seretse Khama Ian Khama, President of the Republic of Botswana, His Excellency Jacob Zuma, President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, President of the Republic of Namibia, Right Honorable Pakalita Mosilili, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Lesotho, on the 12th of November 2015, Windhoek, Namibia. We now have a building. Thank you.
Hello. The touring of the building will only be done by the head of state and government, and all of us will do it afterwards. So all of us remain in the hall and enjoy the entertainment and then do the touring afterwards. The elevators are too small and there's not enough space for all of us to tour the building. Thank you.